Of the Breezy Point City Council. It's July 23rd, and the first item of business will be pledge allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Well, thank you for being here tonight. Hopefully we can make this very short and straightforward. Our sole purpose is to come up with the proposed policy for tax forfeited lands and what we want to do with special assessments. The primary reason for us calling this special session is because we needed to think and discuss pretty much what we wanted to do. As far as how we wanted to handle the special assessments and how we wanted to handle the permits and SAC fees, sewer access charges. Patrick, you want to add in,
I guess I would just say that the actual request that we received from the applicant, Mr. Doty, was only to deal with special assessment. And that's included on, I don't have the application. Second to last page is the actual request from Mr. Doty. The last page lists all the parcels that we received from Crow County that have special assessments. I know we had some discussion from Mr. Doty about building permits and other fees. That was not his written request.
correct. Okay, and where we kind of left it, we had a lot of discussion and some disagreement as to, do we want to forgive portions of the special assessments? So I'm going to start this out, and as part of this write-up, we have discussion point A. Does the city of Breezy Point, or the city of Breezy Point City Council want to waive all or a portion or none of the existing special assessments on the tax forfeited roads? I will open this up to discussion, and then I will ask for a resolution on it to confirm this. And Michael, I'll start with you.
Between discussion point A and discussion point B.
Well, right now, I just wanted to focus on discussion point A, and it has to do with, do we want to consider waiving of special assessments on tax forfeited lots?
At this point, I would be against waiving in portion or in full of any special assessments on any tax forfeited lots.
Okay, and the reason for that is?
The reason for that is if we give out, discount those special assessments, which are real costs to the city at one point or another, and the people who are continuing to pay on those special assessments and being a tax-paying citizen of the city, it's a hard justification for me to explain to one that they don't apply, but somebody new to town does apply. And I'll leave it at that. I think that if we open it up to waiving all special assessments, especially if we were to have a builder come in and list off 10 lots that they want to go ahead and purchase, and they want all special assessments waived. Ideally, yes, we're going to have a nice contract explaining how many homes they're going to be building and what time frames they're going to be doing so. So let's say those 10 lots, they're going to do 2 homes a year. But if they don't do that, what recourse do we have as a city? They already own the property. We can't reassess anything at that point unless the contract states so. But it's posing that they could go back and tax forfeiture potentially. And now we've already waived those special assessments, so we'll never get those back. So I think that if we were to go down that path, we need to build a lot of safeguards in that if they don't abide by the contract or again go tax forfeited, we're out. We're out a lot. So if we go down that path, which I'm against, we need to put safeguards in place.
Okay, Gary Mitchell. So it's basically the same question.
Yeah, I would be okay with decreasing the assessment by 50% if they with a written contract stating that the house has to be completed by a certain date. To put it in there, the fact that they start construction leaves more holes than you can shake a stick at. So, you know, if it's a contractor and he's gonna build 10 lots, like Michael said, it would have to be written in the contract, and it would have to be written so that there's no way that they can back out of it. Now, I don't know if you can stop them from letting it go back to the county or not. But anyway, I would be okay with 50%.
With some reduction, up to 50%.
Reduction.
Okay.
With a specific contract, you know, setting the guidelines.
Okay. Rebecca?
I am not at this point in a position to agree to waive all or a portion of the assessments. I feel the same way as Councilman Maroney, that these are monies that the city should be getting. And I've also had some discussions with other city residents, and I guess, you know, their position is that, to be fair, if you will, you know, if they would have been responsible for those city assessments, then the same thing should apply to others who are coming in to the city.
Okay.
My turn.
Your turn.
How did I know that?
You were last.
For the sake of discussion, I'll make a motion.
Well, I want to
Justify it.
I want your position, and then we'll make a motion.
Position is, I'm for giving them away. You know my position.
Okay.
However, I support the 50%, and I'm ready to make a motion.
Okay. Okay, make your motion. We'll take that.
All right, the motion is on item B.
We're not on item B
All right,
yet.
a reduction in the special assessments of no less than 50% and a 20-year term to pay off.
Okay. That's getting into item B. Okay, item A, basically, what I'm looking for is a resolution to authorize the waiving of a portion of the special assessment.
So moved.
Okay, is there a second to that motion?
I'll second.
Okay. Further discussion?
Yes. You've heard it before, and you'll hear it again, the whole council
I'm just
will.
opening up the floor. If anybody
And
wants any
folks,
further discussion.
In the city of Breezy Point, the motion is made by Gary Bakken. Just so anybody wants to call me, can.
Okay.
I see no purpose in kicking this can down the road any longer.
Okay.
I've been here 25 years, almost 30 years now, 25 years watching this same subject rear its ugly head. And doing nothing kind of reminds me of how our federal government is run. Personally, I happen to be a taxpayer also. I would gladly waive the hookup fees for the sewer also. And it doesn't bother me one bit. It's a source of revenue for the city. That's all I have to say.
Okay.
Call the roll or call the...
I'm calling the question. All those in favor of considering reductions of up to 50% on special assessments, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
Aye.
Aye.
So it's a tie vote. So it's up to me.
Mayor casts the...
And because this is, number one, because it is a tie vote, and I do have a tendency to agree with the argument that it would be unfair to waive special assessments, especially to the people who have already paid them. Take, for example, if we have a house that is already existing, he's paid his special assessments for his sewer and for his road. A developer comes in and gets those waived. Well, yes, mathematically, we can come up with the payback, and it can be shown that we would get it back over 10 years or something like that. That's one thing, but it is still unfair to him. So I am voting no. So, discussion A, we will not be waiving any fees for the special assessments. Next, discussion B. Do we want to reassess special assessments on tax forfeited parcels for up to 20 years? And just as a point of clarification, the request for the waiving of the special assessments by John Dottie was only for the special assessments and not for any of the building fees. So I don't think we have to go through a whole lot more discussion. The procedure here, has everybody had a chance to read through this and hopefully understand what it's talking about? It's essentially paragraphs 3 through 8 below. Yeah. Okay. Patrick has put together and it's a relatively short procedure. Pat, why don't you kind of give us an outline as to what all this entails?
The section 3 through 8 actually would have been the process used if you were to use the waiving of the fees.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're not going to waive the fees. So
Okay.
really, the discussion item B is as simple as when you and I and Mr. Griffin sat in this room and we talked about the city making a request to reassess assessments after a tax forfeited parcel sells.
Right.
And so he said he would be in favor of that. He would just need some language from the city council, and it was late May before we had a discussion, and they had a deadline like the first week of June, so we couldn't meet that fast. So that's why it's being brought before at this point in time.
Okay.
They're talking of another land sale in
December.
And so if we can get their language just simply stating, I should back up a little bit, the current policy under the county's policy is that if you buy a parcel of land from them and there's a special assessment, it has to be paid in full. Now, they have different fees or rates, so if you bought a parcel of $10,000, you can pay that in 5 equal payments. But if there's a special assessment of $10,000 also, you have to pay that up front. So you pay $2,000 for the land and $10,000 for the assessment. What he suggested and what Mayor and I talked with Mr. Griffin about was the idea of just reassessing it again over a 20-year period. And so that way they could, let's say if it was a 62 payment, they could easily make, approximately $500 payments on that instead of paying whole $5,000 up front. And all you would need to do is just adopt a policy that would allow.
Right, and that's what I thought we were going to do. That's what I thought by assuming B, then we would be looking at this policy where we could have the hold process and all that kind of stuff.
We wouldn't even need any of that process because they would actually do all the closing and buying through the county, and then they would just have, they would be able to say, yes, the city of Breezy Point in this county is the only city that has this, and you can now waive or have your special assessments over a period of 20 years. You don't need the whole process. You don't need to come back before the city council. It would be just a policy adopted.
Do you need the application at all then? So we don't need one either.
If you're adopting only, item A is off the table, then you're really just looking at B, separate policy, all standalone.
Okay.
So this is a policy that the county would understand, and a purchaser would not have to come to us first to pre-qualify, if you would?
No, there'd be no qualifications. It'd just be like, right now you have special assessments out there. Everybody pays more than 20 years. These tax forfeited parcels, in general, didn't pay any property taxes or special assessment. What we're saying is the property purchaser of the tax forfeited lot with special assessment has the right to pay it all up front, or they can pay it over the 20 years. Again, they're going to have to pay that interest rate.
But the county can discuss that right at the time of sale then?
That's what we would be authorizing them to do, and that, they want a very simple process. They don't want, come before a
Right.
year, delay that, 90 days to work that out. That's if you're gonna buy it and make a large development, that kind of thing.
And the property purchaser then can choose how long they want to repay that over?
Just like
So
your
they
regular-
could do 10 years if they wanted to.
Apologies, yes. But yeah, if they want to pay it right now, because they're gonna pay interest on it. And so, the
Okay.
interest rate, I think at the county right now is 8 or 10%, so if they don't want to pay it,
Is that an interest rate that the county sets? Because I know we usually set it.
it would be us, but again, I'd have to look at how that goes through, but it's typically a couple of percent over prime.
Okay.
Okay, because I was under the impression that we were going to be putting together a process that a developer, if he wanted to hold like 5 or 6 lots, he could hold those lots for a period of time. And then he could buy those lots, and the special assessments wouldn't start until he wouldn't be charged those special assessments until the certificate of occupancy was
That was
given.
some of what we were talking about for item A, but for
Okay.
item B only, there's no real process, just a simple
Okay.
policy that you guys adopt, and Gary Griffith and the county would accept it, and
Okay,
we'd be off and running.
I thought that was going to be under B.
That would just be under, that would be if we did the larger, much larger policy.
Okay,
Waiving the special assessments and that.
okay.
It could be just as simple as a simple resolution, just stating that, we can make the wording work out with our attorney, and we're good to go.
Okay, so we can have a resolution to that effect ready for the August meeting.
If you want to form the wording tonight, I can tweak it, and we'll have it tonight, technically.
Okay,
Yeah, why not?
For one clarification point, our current special assessments, are they over 20 years or do we usually base them on 10 years?
I went and looked, well, last one was 20 years.
It was, okay.
But they,
Sewer was 20 years, I think, right? Am I right?
I went and looked at the last one, I forget what it was, and I, forgive me for not remembering, but I wasn't here for any of yours, but
Right.
you have the ability to provide, but 20 years is max.
Okay.
but if they have it over 20, if they choose to pay it off in 5, they can do that.
Pay it off day one. Interest,
So they can set the terms. Do we need to like only allow 5, 10, or 20? Do we need to tell the county or can they just break it out into up to 20 payments however the county?
My suggestion to the council is, if you're going to make a resolution for this tonight, I would say 20 years.
Just set it
Okay.
and they can pay early, they can prepay and,
So their interest is just on the unpaid balance anyway.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
And does this carry to the, like if the property purchaser sells the property, does that carry through to the person they sell that to?
yes.
It's been a while since I've done special assessments, I'd have to check into that question.
It did when I bought my property.
Okay, there we go.
There you go.
So the same kind of deal would apply to them?
And that becomes part of the negotiating when you're selling your property. The buyer can say, you have to pay off that special assessment
Yep.
before I buy the property.
Gotcha, okay.
And, you know,
Okay, that's good.
if you really want the property, you'll say, I'll just continue on paying the special assessment, you know, so, which is what I did.
Okay.
You're looking for a motion?
I am looking for a motion,
So moved.
and the motion would be to authorize the county to waive the special assessment on tax forfeit property sales, to have it reassessed by the city for a period of 20 years, up to 20 years.
well, I think we're just setting it
Reassessed.
to 20
I thought we
years.
just decided it
Well-
was the full amount.
The way I understand it has to work is they have to take it off, and then the city has to assess it to the tax roll. And we have to do that at our first regular meeting following the sale. That's my understanding of the way it works.
I'll get it clarified.
Yes.
Good.
That's why I think it might be better to have it formalized for our August meeting.
I call, the attorney and I are actually scheduled to talk about North Star Center's development.
Okay.
Tomorrow, so
Yes.
it's perfect.
Yeah, because my understanding in talking with Gary Griffin was that they could take it off of the tax forfeiture sale and not collect it at the time of the sale. But then at the next regular city meeting, it would have to be assessed to the tax roll upon city council vote.
And do please clarify or validate that that's for auction sales too.
Yes.
Not just over the counter,
Okay.
if you could please.
Well, it's the same process.
It should be the same process, but just to,
Okay?
I'll
Is
second.
are we doing a
Well,
motion now, or
motion
just having
made.
him, like, a motion to have him
A motion for
draft
direction.
something up?
Oh,
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause-
Consensus is, yep.
okay, so we have a motion to have him draft, a second.
For reassessment, yeah.
All those in favor of having
Aye.
draft up a motion for the August meeting, please say aye.
Aye.
We will have it, and then at that point, we can get it in process.
Is there something, you attached this language about the must be paid in full? The last meeting, there was some discussion about them not having the list of all the special assessments, and you highlighted this pending special assessment?
Yeah, that's a slightly different issue in
Different
that.
issue, different discussion.
Well, it is kind of related from the standpoint of if a property has been on the tax forfeit roll for a period of time, and then the city has put in some sort of improvement, either put in sewer or put in a paved roadway, and an assessment gets put onto the property, it is not necessarily getting it to the information that is provided to the buyers as far as getting that database updated.
I have a written request into the county to revise it now.
Okay. Or at least their language. I mean, if it's not a pending special
Right.
assessment, like
Yeah.
confirm with this.
There's nothing that leads
Okay.
them to indicate.
Just strongly ask if they rewrite it to state, check with the city if there's any pending or special.
Okay, that's kind of where I was going with that. Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
That's kind of a sore point.
Okay, great.
So, any other items? We've completed our agenda. Our meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much.
Comp plan next meeting is the 21st, August 21st, Tuesday at 6 PM.